Hello and welcome to beautiful Wauwatosa, Wisconsin for the 2017 AMF Bowlero Shootout. Van McNeil alongside Phil Brilo. A great day of bowling ahead here with our semifinal matches and our championship match.
Yeah, and as you said earlier in the summer, it's the summer of Boho. Our fourth Hard Knocks Road to Gold TV tournament this summer here on Spectrum Sports. Brent Boho in his fourth finals on TV. Can he make it happen? Can he get his second title in a row? We'll have to find out. He's got 3 opponents on the lanes and 1 opponent off the lanes. Brent had surgery on his jaw. They literally broke his jaw 4 days before this TV taping. He got out of the hospital the day before the TV taping. He's here, and he took an 80-pin qualifying lead over his next closest competitor prior to making TV. How he's throwing it that great and that much pain is beyond me, but he's still got to get through 2 matches before he can win the title here at AMF Bowlero.
We'll get to the action next here from AMF Bowlero.
My first mission, defuse a bomb. My next mission, rescue hostages. Then, I was chosen to protect a VIP. All that, and not even a scratch.
Hard Knocks is the world's largest indoor combat simulation arena. Experience real-life combat situations with realistic weaponry using no projectiles. Come to Hard Knocks and choose your mission today.
Are you ready to play? Hard Knocks, Beyond Laser Tag, your indoor war.
Welcome back to AMF Bowlero for the 2017 Shootout. Van McNeil alongside Phil Brilo, and we get going immediately with the Man of Steel. The summer of Boho continues, but I cannot believe this man is out here, as we talked about in the open, coming off a surgery.
Yeah, and making sure he didn't take any painkillers before the tournament today, making sure he stays physically and mentally sharp, and just an amazing achievement. 1 day out of the hospital after being in the hospital for 4 days for some jaw surgery, and he comes out of the gates. Hey, not a surprise there either. Come out of the gates with a strike and try to take an early lead against his opponent.
Every telecast, we ask our bowlers, what do you do outside of bowling? And Brent Boho always answers, bowl is life. So it's completely understandable to see him out here as we see him nursing his jaw there a little bit. But Tyler Hirth out of Racine.
Yeah, another two-hander off the left side, and Hirth comes up a little light on this 37-foot oil pattern, something a little shorter for the young players today. You can see both these players using urethane to control the pattern. Urethane, however, with that early roll, it hooks a little bit earlier than reactive resin does. These bowlers need to make sure they maintain their ball speed in order to get some drive power through the pocket, and Hirth just needs to bring that line in a little bit more, and he should be right back in the pocket as well.
During qualifying, we did see some of the competitors using some pretty aggressive reactive resin balls, and they were just taking off. But urethane the way to go. Perhaps a straighter is greater mentality out here would work too.
Well, always on these shorter patterns, you need to keep your lines more direct up the outside part of the lane, especially here at AMF Bowlero. This lane surface now is 16 years old, and a lot of wear and tear, a lot of open play, a lot of league play here at Bowlero. So the track area is pretty worn, so you really can't get inside to the track area unless you use something that's really non-aggressive at all. And urethane, if you have the ball speed for it, would be the way to go. When we get to our second match, we see Jordan Kirschbaum, our only lady on the show today. She's got a pretty fair amount of ball speed, but not a lot of hands, so she can get away with using reactive resin and being a little farther to the left than these young players.
Back to Brent Boho, who is just solid. Another nice pound strike.
And if Brent were to use reactive resin right there, that ball would just kind of hockey stick, maybe even past the head pin, definitely on the crossover side, and you see the control that urethane gives. It's an early roll, but it's a controlled roll. And with Brent's revolutions and ball speed, no problem keeping that ball on target line, the early double and the early 10-pin lead.
We've seen Brent on past telecasts that you can watch on demand and on YouTube. Search Essential Bowling Concepts. I'm noticing a shorter approach to the line, no messenger there. He has changed up his style yet again in this telecast.
Well, with the 4-step approach for Brent is going to force him to stay slow and paced at the fouling. especially now he's trying to conserve energy. I mean, having surgery
Right.
takes a lot of energy out of you, and you need to kind of conserve that. And so with the four-step, he's making sure he keeps his speed slow. He's making sure that ball reads in the proper part of the lane. And we've seen him go with the four-step earlier this summer when he had to stand in front of the ball return. Obviously, no need to do that today, but this is more just a conservation of energy for him, and just make sure he has a little bit of a slower ball speed.
Got to adapt to how you're feeling, and when you're coming off of surgery, I believe that's an ice pack in there with the towel that he's holding to his jaw.
Asked his dad Tate to go. I think he's going to go refresh the ice pack a little bit.
Yep.
No, get the phone.
The phone.
Distract yourself a little bit while you're between frames there. I know Brent really doesn't like to watch his opponent's throw in case his opponent gets a good break.
And no doubt about that one for Tyler Hurth. Solid pocket strike.
Tyler up by 1 pin currently thanks to that double coming after his first frame spare. Keeping his count 20 in the first, and he would have 50 in the second if he were to strike again in the fourth frame. So it's always a projected score. Always thinking that the bowler's going to strike in the next frame, and you see that projection on the screen.
20-year-old out of Racine. Looks good. Ooh, not at all. That took off there on the back.
Yeah, a hair slow and a hair right for Hurth. And these shorter patterns usually don't have a lot of hold to the left. Most of these misses you want to make on these short patterns are to the outside, get a little bit of drive for recovery. Not a lot of hold here on this 37-foot pattern, and you see it go through the nose. Best thing to do here is to switch just to one-handed for the spare, get 3, and move on.
Get the count, absolutely. So, Tyler.
But, yeah, you know what, the summer that Brent Boho's had, Tyler's on the bench going, it's now I got a double 3-bagger to get back to where Brent's going to be.
Right. Just an amazing story in Brent Boho here. Two-hander out of Sussex. 19 years old.
Going to be a sophomore at St. Ambrose University this coming year.
I was going to say, I'm surprised that did not take off a little bit more.
All that urethane, it burns up the energy early, so he starts by projecting it a little farther left. Ball gets in that early roll and just kind of burns out a little bit. It's tough. You have to have a big miss on this pattern to cross over with urethane. You'd have to have almost a 4-board miss to do that. You know, Brent there a couple of boards inside of where he was on his last shot in that lane.
And a consistent, I almost ate my words there, a consistent spare shooter in Brent Boho, as we've seen on past telecasts. That's where it is. That's where you get your titles, picking up those spares.
Well, we've seen Brent in qualifying just absolutely lead some of these tournaments by 80, 90 pins in a 4-game qualifier. Once again, does it this event. And a lot of it is because of his spare game. He wasn't leaving open frames, so we saw quite a few missed single pins from the young players trying to hook it at left side spares, and it would overhook. And there's $25 once again for Brent Boho. I think we're going to see him outfitted in high-five gear jerseys for the next 7 to 8 years with all the $25 gift certificates he's won from High Five this summer.
The man has been cashing in as the summer of Boho continues. Trip that 10 out. Let's see if Tyler Hurth can cash in with a $25 gift card. It's a high-five gear.
We're in that Junior Hall of Fame jersey, of course, that great tournament run by Shannon Lubinsky. No love on the 8-pin for Hurth, and it's not easy to leave 8 pins with urethane for as early as they roll. You got to be pretty high in the pocket, and if we watch the replay here, you'll see that ball slices right through. I mean, it barely touches the inside part of the 2-pin. And he's a little disappointed by that shot, but it could have been worse. Reactive resin, that's probably like a 6-8.
Oh boy. I thought that was in the channel for sure, Phil. Wow.
Well, with these shorter patterns, sometimes if you talk to a lot of the PBA players when they're bowling on the cheetah or the wolf patterns, those 35 to 30-foot, 32-foot patterns, they try to aim to throw it into the gutter because they know those dry couple of boards on the outside of the lane. Those are what's going to bring it back into the pocket and hook. So
this is Tyler's bad lane. He had a nasty split the last time, and there we go again. Back-to-back splits on lane 69.
And doesn't make a big enough adjustment after that other errant shot. And you see the disappointment, but we just mentioned the shot before. It could have been worse, could have been a 6-8. Now you see why.
dare I say, and I've been saying this for a few telecasts, do we have a tale of two lanes here? Because on the right lane, it looks like he made the adjustment that he should have made on the left lane. Another open for Tyler Hirth as the 2017 AMF Bowlero Shootout continues here on Spectrum Sports. Welcome back to the 2017 AMF Bowlero Shootout. Van McNeil alongside Phil Brylow during the break. We'll fast forward through some of the action here, Phil.
Yeah, Brent Boho dead flush in the pocket. Big double to get that lead out to 38 pins. Has a chance to get out to 48 in the 7th. Little weak in the pocket. You see that 5-pin just kind of stand up and move left there. 6 does nothing on the 10. But the spare conversion keeps Boho up by 37 pins. And with only 3.5 frames remaining here, Tyler Hirth pretty much mandatory strike mode from here on out. His max 218, Boho already pacing 215. So you can see where Tyler Hirth's going to need to stop coming up high in the pocket, make the adjustments, and throw a lot of strikes in a row here.
Just before the commercial break, we were talking about a tale of two lanes. He's good on 70. He's got the right lane down. It's the left lane that's given him some trouble here. That one's right on. Look at that. Light mixer, that goes.
Yep, and you see that. That's one of the challenges during these bowling tournaments. During our qualifying rounds and during the qualifying rounds of a lot of higher level tournaments, the players move from pair to pair every game. The oil pattern might be the same, but there's little differences in the lane surface, how the lanes were installed. It's called topography,
right.
And the little topography difference from lane to lane can really get some people confused as things go on, and you have to solve that riddle moving from pair to pair, and you only have 5 shots in each lane to do it.
And a little shy to make his adjustment. Definitely not a split, which is some good news, but you're still going to make your spare here.
So the bad break, watch that head pin, a little light in the pocket, little deflection. 5-pin doesn't get hit by the ball, actually gets knocked down by the 6-pin. Head pin misses the 10, and now it's going to take a lot of help from his opponent for Tyler Hirth to win this match. And the real scenic route at the 10-pin.
Yeah, I was going to say, very unique. A 2-hander solid in the first throw, but on the spare, it's almost 2-handed with a 1-handed assist. Like he's got all the fingers in his ball, but he's also holding it like a 2-hander. If he shoots a spare again, we'll look at it. But back to Brent Boho, the 19-year-old out of Sussex, the man that just got out of the hospital yesterday.
Rolls up to the pocket nicely, kicks that 10 out, and this match pretty much Boho's, and he's going to advance into our championship match once again. 4 championship matches and 4 Hard Knocks Road to Gold summer events here on Spectrum Sports.
Pretty good record.
That's a heck of a record.
Yeah.
Just joking around with his mom, Kim, beforehand and go, Brendan has had to work a part-time job at all this summer. He's just been bowling with us and winning all these gift cards. And she goes, yeah, that's about it. We actually gave him the choice to either bowl more during the summer and bowl in events and try to earn scholarship money and gift cards like they do with us and other tournaments. And Brent's been very successful with that opportunity as he gets another strike there in the 9th frame to wrap up the match.
Yeah, locks it up against Tyler Hirsch out of Racine. Very big thank you from Tyler to Zach Vassie. When he's not bowling, baseball and basketball occupy his time. He is a tall drink.
And you want to thank Lenny Borges Jr. at the Pro Shop at Castle Lanes, Bowler's Choice Pro Shop inside of Castle Lanes. And Lenny, once again, having another solid summer on the PBA 50 Tour and representing Wisconsin well out there on the PBA 50 Tour. And another little bit of a weak shot there. The 7-pin still stands in defiance for Tyler Hirth, but he's still taking home a $25 gift card. Thanks to Dan Patterson here at AMF Bowlero for hosting us on this event and providing the gift cards for these young players. Can't do it without the great proprietors and managers of the bowling centers we have our events at. And Dan's been at AMF Bowlero for a couple of years now. Roy Brent, legend of Milwaukee bowling, retired a couple of years back, and Dan came in and he's done a lot to AMF Bowlero. You see the nice media mass they have in here now. Great sound system. They're doing upgrades here all the time. And if you haven't stopped in AMF Bowlero in a year or two, you really need to stop in up there and see all the changes that they've made. New furniture in the concourse, new flooring, and they've done a really awesome job at AMF Bowlero. And Dan Patterson, really the key figure for getting that done as the manager in the center.
Absolutely, a very nice update. And like you said, Phil, the updates continue here.
And Dan's a bowler like the rest of us. I mean, he's been at the high-end levels of competition. He was formerly with Team USA.
Right.
Now he's gotten into the management, kind of the proprietor side of the business. He's running AMF Bowlero and AMF West in Milwaukee for Bowlmore AMF. And, you know, when you're running that many lanes, you got to think like a proprietor. You can't think like a manager. And Dan's done that, and he's really, you know, taken a couple of bowling centers and really got him on the uptick right now.
Right. A very big thank you to the entire staff here at AMF Bowlero. You talk about Dan being involved in Team USA. We're talking about Lenny Borsch, how Tyler has his balls drilled up by Lenny. Lenny's on senior Team USA.
Yeah, while this is airing, Lenny's going to be in Germany representing the United States in the World Senior Championships. And what a team with Lenny Borsch Jr. You got Ron Moore, you've got Parker Bone III, and you've got Bob Learn Jr., and they're looking to bring back that gold medal once again to the U.S., and they're going to be a tough team for the rest of the world to beat, no doubt about it.
So the summer of Boho continues. He advances to the championship match.
Yeah, 245 if he strikes out. His TV average has been pretty good in the semifinals.
Yeah.
The hard thing for Brent all summer long has been keeping the momentum going through the finals. We saw him win the last event at Classic Lanes Greenfield. Finally, you know, kind of got the monkey off his back
got over the
with the win over Courtney Ermish. He was 0 for 2 already this summer in final matches. Now he's 1 and 2. We'll have to see if he can even the record once he gets into the championship.
And to be coming off of surgery, I'm sure he's a, oh my gosh, come on now.
Hey, when it's your summer, it's your summer.
He's focused a little differently. Obviously, he's playing with pain. As you see, after every throw, he goes back and reaches for the ice pack and puts it on his jaw. It was a jaw surgery that he had to go through, and he's going to try something a little different here.
Yeah, you see Freddie Peterson out there. He bowled here again today and apparently playing caddy for Brent Boho. But yeah, Brent trying another urethane piece. That piece has actually got a little bit of reactor resin mixed into it, so it may have a little more back end. Not sure how it's going to work for him, but we'll find out.
Yeah, it looks pretty dull as he tests out in a fill ball there. So our next semifinal match brings the only lady in Jordan Kirschbaum. She takes on Steven Monson as the 2017 AMF Bowlero Shootout continues here on Spectrum Sports.
Barbiere's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mountain Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee.
Welcome back to the 2017 AMF Bowlero Shootout. Van McNeil alongside Phil Brylow. Our second semifinal match. What happened to ladies first?
Well, it is lane choice for the ladies, and she decided that she was going to let Steven Monson start things off. We haven't seen Monson on TV since his appearance in the Junior Hall of Fame tournament back in 2016, so been a while, and it's never easy to shake off the nervous jitters. And we see Monson with a little bit of jitters right there through the nose. The 3, 9, and 10 conversion, and never easy with that sleeper 9-pin, Van.
No, absolutely. You gotta, oh boy, yeah, tough split to convert there. You got to be able to shake off the nerves here, but sometimes when those TV lights go on and the cameras start going, it's not good news.
Well, we haven't seen Jordan Kirschbaum on TV since her high school days, back when she bowled for Kenosha Tremper on our midwinter shootout from Castle Lanes in Racine, and Jordan with a little bit of the break early on the crossover shot.
Oh, she's not a lefty.
And we saw a lot of those 37-foot pattern miss left, and even for as direct as Jordan's playing the lanes with a very non-aggressive piece of equipment, 2 or 3 board miss equals a crossover shot, and she gets lucky enough there to make the carry. Jordan goes to Clark University. She'll be entering her senior year at that great school in Iowa.
And on the right side of the pocket, but not able to take out the 10-pin.
Breaks and bowling even out. You get the break in the first frame. You see she's not overly concerned. She's been there plenty of times in her bowling career. You know, especially in college. You know, crossovers are part of the game. They always bowl in tough conditions in college, and you take the break, you move on, and when you get a kind of a bad break like this, you just take it, move along. You know spares are important. don't miss a 10-pin is pretty much every college coach's mantra.
Yeah, attitude goes a long way out here. You could easily miss a single pin like that or get dealt a 7-10 split or a nasty split. Your attitude could throw you out of your focus and out of your game. You got to stay even keel. You got to stay positive out here on the way.
And looking forward to Hard Knocks opening in Pewaukee shortly. I want to thank them for sponsoring the Road to Gold series this summer. Great supporters in bowling, the Catania family.
I cannot wait to battle you in some laser tag, sir.
And now Monson goes the other way.
Yeah.
That shot. You don't like to see highlight to start with out of a player because that usually means they're doing one of two things. Either misread the lanes a little bit, which I don't think that's the case for Steven. I think it's just you kind of get the everything kind of amped up. You're on TV.
Right.
And it's kind of hard to take that extra half a second, refocus yourself, and make sure that push away in ball speed's in really good shape.
Now, I've noticed, and that was, I thought he was going to convert that. On a shorter pattern, I've noticed before that players tend to play outside and let the ball do the work. We're seeing Steven take a different line here. He's kind of playing up the middle, swinging it out a little bit. That may not be the right call.
Well, and especially in a lot of these patterns where they do have the little bit of what we call a bump in the oil pattern, where there's a little more oil applied to the middle of the lane than the outside part of the lane. That bump is usually around 6th or 7th board. So now with Steven playing so far inside, he has to make more exacting shots than, let's say, Jordan will have to do, where she's playing around 6, 7, 8 boards. So it's going to be interesting to see as the match goes on if Monson can turn it around here. He threw a great shot there and shredded the rack. It's just a matter of can you repeat shots that often where there's really not that much help in the lane surface, in the oil pattern for you.
20-year-old Jordan Kirschbaum out of Pleasant Prairie, as Phil said, going to Clark University. Also playing up the middle, but straight, and that is another nice, solid
The lower rev rate for Jordan really to her advantage right there. She knows because she has a little bit of a higher ball roll than Steven does. Steven comes around the side of the ball more, so that's going to change more angularly down the lane. Jordan more up the back of the ball. It's going to give a gentler change in her ball motion. It's a little easier in that point in time on the lane for Jordan to just keep stroking it out there, and she knows that ball's not going to jump and overreact for her.
Started bowling at the age of 5, has one 300 game under her belt, and a crossover break.
Yeah, that's about a 4-board miss to the left for Jordan there, but because of how straight she's playing the lanes, she gets the break on the crossover. And Steven right here, you can tell just the attitude coming up. He's up in a hurry, and I think that kind of got him a little bit watching his opponent cross over.
And there it is. That's what I were talking about earlier. The line that you play up the middle, swinging it out. You can't get away with that out here.
Well, and plus because there's so much angle outside when that ball does try to recover, it uses up so much energy right away. Right. You see that ball actually turning, making its way back to the pocket, and it just doesn't have the energy to get all the way back into the 1-3. And now, at least it's a relatively easy spare for Steven here to stay close in the match. But when your opponent's just filling frames and you have a couple of opens already, it's that extra pressure to start stringing strikes.
Right.
And we'll have to see how much that affects Steven as this match goes along. And it's always important to start a string in the 5th frame, Van. Why?
It's the High 5 Gear 5th frame. $25 gift card up for grabs.
That's right. You got to get some of that great High 5 Gear jerseys, power sleeves. They even have coordinating pants or skirts to go with your great High 5 Gear jerseys. And they can do jerseys for any sport. I've seen jerseys for golf outings. I've seen jerseys for hockey teams.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, so they can do a lot of different sports for you there at High 5 Gear. All you got to do is get in a hold of one of their designers, give them your idea through their website, and they'll come up with some designs for you. And Mr. Montz is going to have to design something that's $25 he gets to spend at High 5 Gear.
Yeah, absolutely. The best part about High 5 Gear, Phil, Wisconsin company in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Not only taking care of bowlers here, I know they're with the PBA, like you said, the hockey jerseys, some poker jerseys out there, all different kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and how about that for pin action for Jordan Kirschbaum? And that's basically because of the ball speed. Ball wasn't rolling super strong at the pocket, but because the head pin was able to dance around, do a lot of damage on the 5 and 7 pins, it was actually the 5 pin that went back out and rolled the 10 pin out of that shot.
She stared down the 7 and the 10, and oh boy.
Yep, farther right than she wanted to be down the lane. You can see no recovery, and not the way you're going to want to get into the commercial break on the match. You got a big lead, and you don't want to give your opponent any inkling of an opening. And I'd give her about a 50% chance of converting this.
Yeah, well, she was staring down the 7-10, maybe got a little excited, a little overamped, and did something on this frame that's going to cost her, though, as the 2017 AMF Bowlero Shootout continues here on Spectrum Sports. We will be right back. Welcome back to AMF Bowlero here in Waukesha. The 2017 Shootout continues. Our second semifinal match between our only lady on the telecast today, Jordan Kirschbaum, taking on this gentleman, Steve Monson, out of Richfield.
And Monson down by a bunch right now, needs to start striking. And even though he kind of came out of his shoes on that shot, he got the ball, the whole pocket, 10 back, and he's only down by 16 at this point in time, which isn't bad considering he opened the first and second frames. You can see right there, a little flush in the face. The nerves are still going. You just kind of have to recompose yourself every time you go to the back of the approach. Make sure you're going through that same pre-shot routine. That's what we see the pros in the PBA Tour do. That's what we see a young man like Brent Boho do. Try to help overcome the nerves and the pressure.
He's a little speedy here in his pace at bowling, and like you said, Phil, I think he's still amped up that he's on TV here. Another slight miss, and pays the price with a bucket.
Yeah, the speed, you see him kind of go, wow, like he couldn't believe they didn't hook back there, but he was a little quick on the ball speed on that shot. He was on his target line, but doesn't give the ball enough time to recover back with that faster speed, and the bucket, never easy to convert. Oh, that's
Gotta be more direct, and wow, yeah, that's...
His timing on that shot was a little off, and he grabbed it on the bottom. I don't know if he was thinking about hooking the ball across the lane. 37 feet, you really don't have to help it that much, and he gave it that extra help. Barely tickled the 4-pin on the left side, and now a huge lead for Kirschbaum, and she can end this match early and get herself into that championship match against Brent Boho with a couple more strikes here.
At an appearance in the 2013 state. You gonna wiggle that 7 out? Come on.
Yeah, that was the year her team finished second at the Midwinter High School Classic. And got a little revenge on everyone at High School State by taking home that title. And there's always some solid teams coming out of Kenosha-Tremper and Sheridan Lanes in Kenosha. And, you know, you look at the southeast part of the state, and you look at the Madison area, some powerhouse teams like Sun Prairie, always teams you have to name to get in there for competition.
Right.
You always look at Indian Trail, you look at Kenosha-Tremper, solid teams out of the southeast part of the state. You look at Germantown High School's had solid boys teams over the years.
Yeah. Oak Creek.
Oak Creek had a great boys team this year, taking home the state title. So you know, it's a powerhouse of the state. The rest of the state catching up, though. I wouldn't want to pull those girls from Amherst from up north. They're constantly in the state finals as well in Division II. So yeah, little pockets of powerhouses around the state developing. High school bowling still holding strong, and we'll have to see how these young players progress as they get in their college careers like Kirschbaum has. And how about that for a break fan?
Kick out the 6.
If you're gonna miss, miss big. I mean, really, that's what it is. Don't make the 2-board miss in this condition, because you're gonna go through the nose. You make a 3 or 4-board miss like Kirschbaum's done a couple times this game, and she's happening getting rewarded with breaks.
And Monson is, I think he's done. I think he's out of it.
Yeah, he knows the match is pretty much over. And
still, you're on television and you want to put your best foot forward. Still speedy in his approach, speedy to the line.
It's the disappointment that you feel
Well,
for
I
being out
understand
there.
that.
You want to win every time you're in a tournament. I think it means a little bit more to him being on TV, and I think right now it's just, I know I've lost. It's a little disappointing. My maximum score right now is going to be 188. It's not going to be enough to beat my opponent.
I understand that, Phil, but sometimes you just need to, in a strike like that, you know, he needed that a little earlier. But if you just scale it back and woosa, just for a minute, and you get back on track that way. That was a beautiful ball from Steve.
Yes, indeed. But Kirschbaum here just needs 1 mark in 2 frames. I don't see any problems in that happening for Jordan. You see the simplistic 4 steps, the nice open shoulder comes through, and well, makes things a little bit interesting here with the 3-10 lead.
So we're not out of the woods yet, ladies and gentlemen.
But quality spare game for this young collegiate player. I don't see her throwing away this spare. I give her about an 85% conversion rate on this. You just want to kind of aim for where the 6-pin is. Oh, and that hooked away from her a little bit. So now we do have a little bit of a chance for a game here, but it's going to take another open frame from Kirschbaum to give Monson any chance. Kirschbaum, you can't pull defensively. You need a mark. The best mark to get is a strike. So why change anything up in looking at your outlook for the 10th frame? Get up there, go through your normal pre-shot routine, get yourself focused, know where you want to throw the ball, and get it on target line.
With the exception of the 6th frame.
That's a better shot.
And that's a solid pocket strike is what that is,
That's
Phil.
probably the best shot of the game for Jordan right there to lock it up. And that's going to give her a little momentum getting in this match against Brent Boho. She knows Brent shot 240 the last game, but Brent's been sitting on the sideline. Brent's going to get a couple more practice shots during the commercial break. And when he comes back on, the lanes are going to have changed a little bit. 2 righties on this pair of lanes. One player, Monson, playing a little bit farther left from where Brent was, so he could have, it could take away any chance Brent might have for moving inside a little bit more, and especially where Kirschbaum is here. Kirschbaum also left to where Boho is playing, so it could be interesting getting into this championship match. And we know Brent's record so far against young ladies in championship matches. He's 1-4 over the last 2 seasons. Just something about, I don't know, maybe the ladies just want to give it to him a little bit more in the championship match with, hey, I'm going to prove that 1-game match, anything can happen, and they've done it.
He just got over the hump and was able to take out Courtney Ermish in our last telecast. Can Brent Boho take out Jordan Kirschbaum?
Well, Jordan with a nice game. She took advantage of a couple of breaks and crossover strikes, stayed relatively clean. Only 2 opens on the board that game, and she shot 201. And Monson decides to go to the well on that shot.
There you go.
Gets all 10 down. And yeah, you see the disappointment. I mean, the $25 Visa gift card, thanks to our friends here at AMF Bowlero, it's not going to ease the pain that awful much, to be honest. But he gets to buy himself a little something nice. You can use that $25 gift card to go with this $25 gift certificate for High Five gear. He's halfway to another jersey.
But you gain the experience too. You bowl well in qualifying to get to a telecast, and you've already been through it once. Maybe you're not as nervous. But a big thank you to his mom, Jackie, Scott, Rich Miller, and Tyler Cheddar, the Cheddar Man. So, the championship match next here. The AMF Bowlero Shootout continues on Spectrum Sports.
Why do we have so many of our televised tournaments at Castle Lanes? Because we love being part of the wild side of bowling. If you're ready to get in touch with your wild side, go to castlelanes.com.
Welcome back to the 2017 AMF Bowlero Shootout. Van McNeil alongside Phil Brilo. Championship match. It was Brent Boho taking out Racine's Tyler Hirsch in our semifinal match 1, 240 to 187. That's how he got here. The summer of Boho continues, and he's coming off a surgery if you're just joining us.
Yeah, in the hospital for 4 days after jaw surgery. Basically broke his upper jaw and reset it. And just got out of the hospital the day before we taped this event. Bowling out here. Had to get through qualifying, had to get through the first game of the stepladder. Led the field in qualifying once again by over 80 pins. Put on an exhibition here on this 37-foot oil pattern. And now he's got to get through one more match. And you just got to think, right now, see Brent a little confused by that first shot. Thought he threw it very well. Just a bad break. 5-pin actually passed between the 4 and the 8-pin. And
that was close. Almost
chopped the spare. But yeah, you can't let a bad break stop you. And I think Brent will definitely figure things out. And hey, Dylan Schaefer in the background. Dylan's made a couple of our shows this summer and hanging around checking out the action.
In our second semifinal match, it was this woman right here, Jordan Kirschbaum, taking out Steven Monson, correct? Thank you. 175 to 201. She is dialed in. Solid pocket strike for Jordan.
Well, sometimes simpler with point A to point B is better than trying to hook the lane, and Jordan doing that right now. Brent doing it as well. I mean, we've seen Brent use many different areas of the lane all summer long. We've seen him almost loft the left gutter cap on a very tough inside shot at Classic Lanes in Greenfield, and now moving out to an outside shot here at AMF Bowlero. We've seen Boho play the very direct outside line.
Got a break and trips out the 4. Could have been some trouble for Jordan, but
And you can see immediately takes the wristband off because she knows she's going to throw it flat at that 10 pin. Not personally a fan of those wrist devices for any player unless there's an actual injury. I think Jordan could put a lot stronger roll on the ball without that wrist device. You know, she's a very strong young lady. She'd have no problem keeping her hand and fingers behind the ball. It's just a matter of sometimes it's that comfort factor, that crutch you've had since you've started as a young bowler, and sometimes it's really hard to get a bowler away from that. I remember back in the day when I was coaching at UW Whitewater, I had a young player, Andrew Ewig, who wore a very constrictive wrist device, and before we went to the Intercollegiate Team Championships, I got him out of that wrist device, and we got him a little more variety with his ball roll. He was able to change his wrist positions and his hand positions a lot more, and he was one of the keys to Whitewater making Intercollegiate Team Championships in 2007 because he was willing to make that change. And that would really, when you can be have a little more variety with your ball roll, change your ball roll, change your hand pressures on how you want that ball to track down lane. Like we see with Brent Boho right there, he's a master at changing those hand and wrist positions because of his two-handed style. You can really work on keeping the ball in play and throwing more strikes out on the lane, in my opinion.
The 19-year-old out of Sussex throwing the 2 thumbs up. Another solid pocket strike for Mr. Boho. The summer of Boho continues. Now, Phil, you were talking about the wristband. It almost sounds like if you use a wrist device in bowling, it's almost like a set of braces or like a leg cast. It's only designed to be there for a short amount of time, maybe to get you out of some bad habits.
Well, I think if you have an injury, she may have an injury we don't know about, she might be using it for that, but basically it's a great training aid. It really makes you keep your hand and your wrist in the right position. Helps you develop a strong ball roll, but I think as time goes on, you see a lot of these younger players, especially on the ladies' side, once they get to college, a lot of them start getting out of it because they know they can then change their ball roll a little bit better and they can make the adjustments a little more fine-tuning than you can with the wrist position that maybe only holds your wrist in a couple of places. You can see it has a knob on there. She can make some adjustments to it. But it could be a comfort factor for her. It could be an actual injury for Jordan, why she still wears that particular brace. Like I said, I'm not a fan of him. If I were her coach, I would work with her a few times to try to get out of it. If the comfort factor still wasn't there, put him back in. Because the mental game is always going to be important. If someone doesn't feel comfortable, you're taking them out of their mental game. It doesn't do you any good to try to change them at that point in time.
Not a slice, but a slight miss of target, perhaps a slice off on her throw.
That's trouble. Yeah, the first ball just kind of overextended the follow through. I don't know if the ball maybe was coming off her thumb a little quick. You get a little nervous, you get a little extra moisture on the thumb, and she left that 1-2-4-8, and then just a little tentative on the spare attempt, pulled it left. Timing was off a little bit, and now finds herself a good deal down in the match, and Brent's going to try to shut the door here. He's left.
Oh, but gets a break with the crossover. Yeah, goodness.
That's 3 in a row. You know Brent, he's got to take, if he could actually wipe it off the scoreboard and take another shot at the pocket, he'd rather do that.
Right.
He's not taking any pride in that fact that he got the break right now. He's not going to give it back, but you know he's going to try to throw a better shot here in the high 5 gear 5th frame. See, he's still got the hospital bracelet on, man.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, I didn't notice that until now.
On the
Absolutely,
right wrist.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. A little light getting into the pocket here, so...
not a bad shot there.
No.
Better to keep it online and in play. Leave yourself the makeables. He knows he's ahead in the match and not going to make the big mistake at this point in time. You just see that ball start to charge up, and with urethane, it kind of fades out towards the pocket. So you got to be a little bit farther in the pocket to make sure you take the head pin into the 2-pin.
I got to talk to our friends at High 5 Gear. I need to design, and I want to get this for the 2017 season, the Summer of Boho. I need a Summer of Boho shirt.
How about just a bunch of pictures of Brent all over the shirt? I don't know. Would you have to pay Brent royalties on that?
I think I
you
would.
have
Yeah.
to pay Brent royalties for using his likeness. And see his mom Kim there giving him a glass of ice water, and Brent going back to the ice pack there. But now Kirschbaum in the high 5 gear 5th frame, over the top of that one.
Looking to bounce back, didn't get the break.
you just saw the hand roll over a little earlier, the elbow come out just a little bit. They call it a chicken wing. And when you do that, usually it gets your hand into a little bit more of an inside-out position, and it forces the ball a little bit left at release. And then next thing you know, you come up that little bit high. Lucky to leave just the 4-pin. So once again, polyester ball, no wrist device, straight up the lane. No mistakes there for Kirschbaum.
Summer of Boho shirt and keep calm, use wrist devices in bowling.
I don't know, I'm kind of digging the peach and blue combination. Maybe we should do the rest of the you can combine these two finalists. You have Brent's face along, and we can do it on like a peach and blue shirt like Jordan has for her color combo here.
Well, they can do anything there at High Five Gear.
Exactly.
So
they've done some great jerseys for us for PBA's Extra Frame as well, and any PBA player you see with their jersey out on the lanes at a PBA event, that's done by High Five Gear as well.
Kirschbaum bounces back, but there's still some more work to do. We're not out of the woods yet, kids. Brent Boho, Jordan Kirschbaum, the 2017 AMF Bowlero Shootout. The championship match continues next.
My first mission, defuse a bomb. My next mission, rescue hostages. Then, I was chosen to protect a VIP. All that, and not even a scratch.
Hard Knocks is the world's largest indoor combat simulation arena. Experience real-life combat situations with realistic weaponry using no projectiles. Come to Hard Knocks and choose your mission today.
Are you ready to play? Hard Knocks, Beyond Laser Tag, your indoor war.
Welcome back to the 2017 AMF Bowlero Shootout. It's the championship match. Brent Boho against Jordan Kirschbaum here. For just joining us, Brent Boho just released from the hospital yesterday. I can't believe he's here today, Phil, and doing as well as he's doing.
And still throwing it strong. That time a little too strong to the left, but leaves the single pin. And right now, 33-pin lead for Brent. It's fill frames and make Kirschbaum chase you down with strings of strikes. Big break there. Ball slices past the 3-pin. Lucky to have the head pin bounce around in the back. Take out the 9 and 10.
Could have been a different story with all the revs that he throws.
Whoops. Whoop. Oh my.
Boy. And the revs didn't help that time.
No. A lot of oil in the middle of the lane, even though it's only 37 feet in length. And these polyester bowling balls, they're not designed to flare. You don't get a fresh part of the bowling ball to be tracked over like you can with some of these urethane balls and almost every reactive resin ball. So the oil got on there, continued to make the ball slide, and now his lead down to just over 20 pins.
So the last time I had this icky kind of feeling, come on now. No love in the messenger there.
Tell you what, it was bedtime for the 10-pin, and the head pin came back across and decided to stay up a few minutes later, finish watching the show.
Hey now.
Sandman doesn't do the job on the 10, still stands in defiance, and Brent knows he threw a really great shot. Stare it down all you want, unfortunately. Didn't fall for him, and now just got to make the cover.
I was going to say, I was feeling uneasy, and things are not right. The last time I felt that way was when Walter Ray missed back-to-back 10-pins out on the tour. Seeing Brent Boho miss a spare, gives me that uneasy feeling, but bounces back, converts his 10-pin.
Here's the situation right now. Kirschbaum, still a possible 236 out there. Boho pacing in the 2 teens. So Kirschbaum can throw a couple more strikes here.
Put the pressure on.
She knocked Brent's lead down to a single pin.
Oh, no break there, but that ball didn't move at all.
Well, once again, kind of give it you try to give it a little extra on the bottom, and the thumb kind of hangs a little long with Jordan's release, and it kind of spins it a little bit. So it kind of she gets her thumb a little bit more towards the top of the ball, and that doesn't let the ball pick up the strong roll she normally has on the lane. Much better shot there. You see how that ball picked up as compared to the strike shot. So for Kirschbaum, just a matter of stay easy with it on the bottom of the swing. You've got a good release. If you try to help it, you're going to turn from a good release to kind of a mediocre release. Just ease it off the hand. You hear that, a lot of pros talk about, I need a crowbar now to get it off the hand. And that's the last thing that Jordan needs right now. Just stay nice and easy with it. She's lined up well.
Yep.
She hasn't had to make much of a move thanks to urethane being thrown by Boho, and there's a good trip out of the 4-9.
Let the ball do the work. She's throwing the Storm High Road and the Storm Snap Lock as well out here today.
So Boho throwing urethane, and the ball really doesn't have that wide of a track. It doesn't flare a lot. So some of the oil that's picked up on the track of the bowling ball is being left down lane by Boho, which helps him out, but then it also helps Kirschbaum out by playing right around that same line, and they can get a little help around 38, 40 feet on the lane.
Feels like he's shortened up his approach again, maybe to pick up a little bit of speed, but another solid pocket strike for Brent Boho. In his arsenal today, the high wire and the tropical storm.
And you can see there just 10 back. He knew it out of his hand, flush in the pocket, and now, not to say he could shut out the match right here, but it's pretty close if he can strike here in the 9th frame. Good shot last frame on this lane, left that messenger missed 10-pin.
Brent Boho, the 19-year-old out of Sussex, strike to put the pressure on Jordan.
And semi-weak 10-pin, you see the 6 kind of rattle around in the flat gutter. Brent knows he threw a quality shot. It was just a little farther right than I think he wanted to. Took advantage of that little bit of bumper in the pattern, and you see that 6 just go around the 10, and now it's just make the spare. You're still up by 20 pins, and it's really going to force Kirschbaum to strike out for Brent to just need a mark in the 10th frame.
We saw a single pin miss earlier from Brent. I'm sure that will not be the case here on the 10 pin, as he does
the overcorrection. Yeah, off of. You've been stunned there, Van.
Oh, there's that feeling again. Oh my goodness!
I'm sure Brent's having that same feeling right now. The overcorrection after hooking
yeah
away from the 3-pin last time, ball not coming back up. Now he pulls a little left, shooting at the 10-pin, and now Kirschbaum striking out here gets her the tournament title and a $100 Visa gift card.
Needs a strike there. My goodness!
Wow!
My goodness!
If you're Brent Boho on the bench right now, it's bad enough you dropped yourself to the pavement by missing the 10-pin. But then your opponent kicks you square in the gut by catching the break on the crossover strike. But it's not done yet for Kirschbaum. She's in the lead, but she strikes out here. It's 216. Boho, his max, 205, so she needs his first one in the 10th. Actually, she needs the first 2 to lock Brent out.
Definitely needs the first one. Jordan Kirschbaum, solid pocket.
And as our friend Jason Couch on the PBA Tour likes to say, that's how you parlay that crossover into 3 in a row. Get the pocket shot, crossover, and then another great pocket shot. We saw Kirschbaum almost the same exact shot in her match against Monson to lock it up and advance to the final. She knew she threw it great out of her hand. She was just staring it down. And this one here locks up the title for her.
This 20-year-old out of Pleasant Prairie needs it. Through the head.
Well,
9.
Here's the situation here, man. Spare here at 205. That forces Boho to strike out to tie. So this spare very important for Kirschbaum to get her to 205. If she gets to 204 with an errant shot and a miss on the 6-pin, Boho can step up and throw all 3 to win. And this is those situations that these kids practice for. Boho, right now on the bench, he knows, I have a chance. He's going to get up, and he's going to throw the best shot he can here first ball in the 10th and take him 1 shot at a time. But he needs all 3 strikes to tie.
A 205 for Pleasant Prairie's Jordan Kirschbaum.
$50 difference on the Visa gift card. For the winner of this match gets $100. Second place, $50. Brent making that just subtle move with his feet on the approach.
Looking to bounce back after an open. Needs this first strike to stay alive.
Oh, that's left the target, Van.
Oh no. Oh no.
I think Boho's just run out of gas. I mean, you look at everything his body's been through the last 5 days, and trying to come back and bowl. I mean, this is his 7th game of competition plus practice today, Van. I think he just ran out of gas.
That's a lot to be coming off of a surgery, not able to convert the split, but our champion, Jordan Kirschbaum out of Pleasant Prairie, that's the 2017 AMF Bowlero Shootout.
providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com.
Hello and welcome back to AMF Bowlero Lanes as we wrap up the 2017 shootout. The summer of boho, the party dampened, couldn't get over the hump here with Jordan Kirschbaum.
I think Brent just ran out of gas. I mean, that's two unusual mental mistakes, two single pin misses late in the championship match, and Jordan Kirschbaum took advantage of it. She stayed clean. She got that late turkey, took advantage of the double with the crossover, turned it into a three-bagger to lock up the match, and Brent still had a chance to win in the 10th frame. Went through the nose, left that big split. Title goes home with Jordan Kirschbaum.
So congratulations to Jordan and the Kirschbaum family. The question is now, will the summer of boho continue into our next telecast?
Well, we'll actually have to wait one additional telecast because we have our Road to Gold Championships coming up. Thanks to Hard Knocks again for sponsoring that. We're going to have our Girls Championships first coming to us from Motion Plus Lanes. Will Brent make the boys final a couple more weeks down the road? You'll have to wait to find out.
Of course, you can see all of our replays on YouTube. Just search Essential Bowling Concepts or click on demand for previous broadcasts. For Phil Brylow, I'm Van McNeil. Take the kids bowling. They'll have fun for life. Thanks for watching.